It is not just a protein shake. Okay, so backing up, we saw people struggling with the idea and concept of it's too expensive to eat healthy. So we thought, okay, that's the problem. Let's find a solution. So we found a solution for $5 or under per meal, and that represented the birth of the idea of Kingdom Fuel.
For each passing year, those hormones decline, and if your hormones aren't in balance, your hair is one of the things that your body can do without. So it's going to shed quicker, the hair follicles get thinner, and before we know it, we've lost a whole head of hair.
That jurisdiction of the sheriff is really the most powerful guard and protector of the rights of the people than any other institution our founders created here.
For every passing day, we get more and more excited about our kingdom products because we want to help the kingdom be healthier in every way. So we've got several products that do a body good. First of all, our flagship product is called Kingdom Fuel. Tell us a little bit about Kingdom Fuel and why it's so good.
It's right there on the table. It comes in two flavors. First of all, chocolate and vanilla. It is not just a protein shake. Okay, so backing up, we saw people struggling with the idea and concept of it's too expensive to eat healthy. So we thought, okay, that's the problem. Let's find a solution. So we found a solution for $5 or under per meal, and that represented the birth of the idea of Kingdom Fuel. So Kingdom Fuel is organic pea protein. It's got greens and reds in it. So this is the phytonutrients from green plants and red plants that we all talk about. Eat your vegetables, right? It's also got vitamins and minerals in it. So it's got a complete complex of that. And it's got also soluble and insoluble fiber, which the difference between the two is profound. Soluble actually gathers moisture and makes you full. That would be kind of cool. And the insoluble goes through the system and grabs things like damaged particles, right? So it really has everything in there. And so we sourced the materials, we got it, the lab put it together, and we tried various things, and it tastes really awesome. You can mix it with water if you want to, but you could also use like some unsweetened milk products and put it in there and mix in some fruits and more greens and reds if you want. And you can even put some nut butters in there. We've done that before too. So it
Or
is
even avocado.
Avocados. You see those
One
there
of my
as well.
favorites.
You could actually take that whole plate of stuff and put it in there, and it would be pretty good. Not the avocado seed, though. We don't want that. But you could grind it up if you were putting that in a Vitamix, I suppose. The bottom line is that is truly the start of this idea of kingdom products. And kingdom, that kind of name comes from the idea of God's principles, right? They don't line up with the world's principles too well. So the world will tell you that it is too expensive to eat healthy, and God's word says we provide food for the healthy. So that's a provision. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody kind of needs that. And the last thing I'll say about that is it's a 2-year shelf life. So when you buy that, it is sustainable for 2 years. So if you don't open it, it's still good 2 years later. That's the point. And so people today are talking about prepping and all that stuff. And, do I think we've got problems in the world? Yes. But I think it's like, get your food now or die. No. But that is a good thing to have around if you're wanting to lose weight or get healthier or something like that, or save some money, which everybody might want to. There you go. There's Kingdom Fuel.
Well, and Kingdom Fuel does a body good. The body runs on nutrients. It doesn't run on medication. And Kingdom Fuel is a complete multivitamin and mineral. Our next favorite product is that thing called Kingdom Coffee. Now, Kingdom Coffee, I don't know about you, but I have to have that cup of coffee in the morning. And Kingdom Coffee is mold-free, it is pesticide-free, and it is organic. It's got this flavor that is delicious. You don't even have to put cream or sweetener in it. I used to be a person that had to have the creamer and the sweetener in my coffee, but not with Kingdom Cup. 1 cup does a body good.
And it's Kingdom Cup with a K,
K.
right? So this is important. 50% of all coffee at least contains mold. Okay.
What's so bad about mold?
Well, mold is it's a toxic substance. You have mold, and then the toxins that come from that called mycotoxins, and we test people all the time that have mold. The bottom line is that does not have mold. And this is a key thing. That's in bean form, right? So you're going to be a little grinder. They're just a few bucks. Grind it up, put it in your maker, and make it. Why did we go with the bean form, the whole bean? Because ultimately the powder form is the one that gathers the most moisture. And that means the more potential mold development. So this is actually organic, mold-free, certified. It's got a little certificate with it. That's important because ultimately people drink coffee. It's cultural. And so we tried to meet the culture where it is and create a healthy alternative.
Well, and with Kingdom Cup, 1 cup is about 100 milligrams of caffeine.
Yep.
So you know the dose that you're getting, that threshold of caffeine is usually about 300 milligrams a day. But 1 cup of Kingdom Cup, and you might not need to go for that 2nd and 3rd cup.
Well, that's good. And then we've got our Kingdom Candy with a K again. 2 flavors. We got salted caramel and peanut butter. These are great. I mean, they're
kind of like a complete meal.
Yeah, they're 200 calories. People want to know that all the time. And not that we're worried about calories, but these things have great ingredients. They're not sweetened with sugars, and they don't have those false sugars or fake sugars, artificial
They've
sugars.
got fiber in them.
They do. Fiber, they've got some things like turmeric. One's got kale in it. Don't worry, you're not going to be grossed out. And they taste awesome.
Can't even taste it.
No. It's interesting. Salted caramel crunch is our newest flavor. We'll come up with some other stuff at some point, but those can bridge the gap of that sweet tooth craving. They're sweetened with monk fruit. And that's really, if you know what that is, it's not going to raise blood sugar.
It's really only 2 grams of sugar. I refer to it as the sweet without the cheat.
So we've got more of these Kingdom line products coming. Soon to come is Kingdom Crunch with a K. That's going to be like a cereal. 2 different flavors of that working through. And we'll have some more things out there. We've got our
Kingdom Water.
Kingdom Water. We've got Kingdom Water, which is hydrogen water. So any of these things out here are designed to be money saving, nutrition giving, and life enhancing. And this is a big deal. So if you want to live in a way that's different than the world, avail yourself to all these Kingdom line products. And hey, you'll find out, like thousands of other people did, that these things will help you live healthier. Yeah, biohack, help live you healthy longer. Okay, so enjoy.
Healthy hair secrets. Biohack. Aging causes of hair loss and thinning.
Your hair can grow as long as my wife's hair. Find out how.
And when you navigate through these economies with people, here's what happens. We want to hold their hand through it, let them know when it's time to buy, sell, reallocate, get out of Dodge. Because a lot of times when you're struck with fear does 2 things. Number 1, it can paralyze, and people just put their head in the sand and say, I'm just going to forget about it and hopefully it gets better. Or it causes you to make a wrong decision. And this is why we are here, is to help people navigate through the political quagmire nonsense that's going on, the economic malaise, and the absolute collapse that we're seeing. And when our freedoms are eroding, our political freedoms, our economic freedoms, our personal freedoms, our religious freedoms, our health freedoms, they're all tied together. But you know what doesn't need to erode with that? Our finances.
KirkElliottPhD.com/Sherwood.
Exploring biohacking, bioharmonizing, biosynergizing, stacking, resilience, or anti-fragility.
Start here. No gimmicks, just proven results.
Hey there, Kevin Sorbo here. Now, deep down, we know this. We're more than just a brain and a body. We're a spirit, we're a soul, and we're also a physical temple. If you hit the wall when you're trying to improve one aspect of your being, it's probably because, well, other aspects are sabotaging our success. So that's why diets don't work. And frankly, why so much conventional wisdom from our so-called medical establishments falls flat. Doctors Michele and Mark Sherwood have a very different approach. I should know because I happen to be one of their patients. They address the whole person to get to know you, your challenges, and more importantly, what your goals are. Then they offer a complete plan that addresses your unique biology and your heart. They'll help you discover what you need to experience transformation. So find out more at sherwood.tv/sorbo. That's sherwood.tv/sorbo, or see the link before. Now I'm heading for a workout. You should be going for a workout too. All right, guys. God bless.
Let's shine the spotlight on one of our star supplements.
The human body can make most of the types of fats it needs from other fats or raw materials, but not omega-3 fatty acids, also called omega-3 fats or N3 fats.
These are essential fats that the body must get from food.
Biomega 1000 provides a potent dose of omega-3 essential fatty acids sourced from a strategically placed fishing facility in the far South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile.
Each capsule delivers an impressive 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, and the capsules also contain vitamin E. See the link below for a special offer, and remember, don't be fooled by cheap online knockoffs. We're bringing to you today some healthy secrets about how to keep that head of hair healthy. You know, as we age, oftentimes hair seems to get a little bit thinner, and nobody likes to think that they're going to lose their hair. They call the hair the crowning glory. And when hair starts shedding at a rate that you feel is out of control, sometimes you find yourself in a panic. So let's talk about some ways that you can keep that hair on your head.
Well, you're right. A lot of people kind of fear losing hair. You know, I had a guy in the office just the other day that he always wears a hat, and he said, "Can I show you something?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm thinking, what's he gonna do? You know, I don't know. He pulls off his hat and shows me kind of a round spot on the back of his head, and he said, "I keep this covered up because I don't want anybody to see it." So I was thinking, wow. And then in preparation for our time today, I thought of this, but people do fear that a lot. And ladies and men that get into menopause or andropause actually begin to lose hair a lot of times. Andropause is when
male menopause.
Male menopause might look at it like that, when their androgens productions begin to go down. And so two different reasons. And then there's also the idea of some genetic tendencies to lose hair faster. We can't disregard that. But there are a lot of things we can do to remediate that loss of hair, at least the pace of it.
Absolutely. So some of the things that we need to look at are, number one, hormone balance. For each passing year, those hormones decline. And if your hormones aren't in balance, your hair is one of the things that your body can do without. So it's going to shed quicker, the hair follicles get thinner, and before we know it, we've lost a whole head of hair. So make sure your hormones are balanced. Number two is check your thyroid. Thyroid levels play a very, very big role in hair. Not only head hair, but the eyebrow hair and even hair on your lower extremities. So thyroid is also very important. You got to look at things like stress. Stress is a huge contributor to hair loss. If we're overly stressed, just from emotional stress, that's another reason that you can lose your hair, or the stresses that you put on your hair. Hair color, hair dye, hair shampoos, hair rubber bands, things that we wear in our hair, even like hats, can stress the hair and cause hair loss. Those are all things that we can really do something about and address. Even we need to look at iron levels. If iron falls too low, we can have hair loss. If we lose weight too fast, we can have hair loss. So it's not to fear. We just have to identify the cause and remedy it with a solution.
And there's a lot of solutions out there. I mean, you mentioned hormone balance. I think for ladies out there, it really is estradiol. 17-beta estradiol is what you need. And a lot of ladies just go without that. And again, you're going to have to kind of turn off the noise that say hormones cause cancer. No, they don't. Or every little girl reaching puberty would have cancer. That's just a foolish thing to say. And then obviously there's nutrition. to be involved. I think a lot of people forget the idea that the hair growth phase lasts 4 to 6 months as a general rule, and then it goes into this pause phase. Growth phase is called an anagen phase. Pause phase is called, or loss is called a catagen phase. So these phases go in and out. There's times where the hair grows, times where it doesn't. And, times if the hair sheds a lot, it'll come back as you get stability in your life back, nutritionally, et cetera. And one of the nutrients we forget about with that is biotin. Biotin is actually a B vitamin. I believe it's B7. That's great for hair.
And also, we have to think about iron. Iron levels are very important for hair. If you're low in iron, you're going to shed hair. B vitamins across the board, not just biotin, but even B12. If that's deficient, you're going to shed your hair. We can also think about things like a collagen in nature. We've got one of my favorites is whole body collagen.
Yep.
It's colorless, tasteless. You can put it in water and get it down through the day, and it aids in improving the tensegrity or the strength of hair, skin, nails, bone, and connective tissue.
So here's a little bit of a hair sort of building protocol for you. This is what we would do. We would give you, if your hair's out there and it's getting thin, we'd give you whole body collagen. And you can put it in your coffee, Kingdom Cup, as a creamer. You can actually use whole body collagen and put it in your water. It dissolves in the water. Again, it becomes very clear. You can drink your water that has collagen in it, but make sure you get one serving of whole body collagen. That's a specific type of collagen that we have. Then you could also get something called HSN complex. Now it stands for hair, skin, and nails. That comes in capsules or powder. You could put a scoop of that in some kind of a drink as well. Then you can also use a peptide called GHK copper, and that comes in a little bit of a foam, and you can take that foam, put it in your hands and put it in your hair at night on your scalp. Putting those things together, you can actually stop some of that hair loss. So if you're out there and you're thinking, well, what can I do? We've given you real remedies here. So, jump on that protocol and you can at least stop that, the madness of the hair loss.
Well, and it's also very good to get your labs checked all the way from insulin to DHEA. High DHEA can cause hair loss. Thyroid that's out of balance can cause hair loss. Hormones definitely that are out of balance can cause hair loss. In today's day, more women and men are getting their hormones replaced. And if testosterone is too high, it can convert into this thing called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. And that is actually toxic to the hair follicle. So it will cause the hair on your head to thin and shed. So hormone balance is very important in keeping your crown in glory, from the balance of testosterone to the balance of DHEA to the balance of estradiol and even thyroid.
So there you go. There's a bunch of stuff you can do. Check the right things, get the right remedies, and stop the hair loss. There you go. How about that? What does our Constitution really mean? Find out next with our constitutional attorney expert, Chris Ann Hall.
Let's get real. Most emergency food is just as bad for you as any other choice in the standard American diet. And that's just sad.
We don't just need food. We need highly nutritional food.
We don't just want to survive food shortages. We are meant to thrive in adversity.
Complete your daily nutrition and have shelf-stable Kingdom Fuel as a cornerstone of your food supply.
Don't sacrifice your health or your taste buds.
Stock up on Kingdom Fuel now.
And when you navigate through these economies with people, here's what happens. We want to hold their hand through it, let them know when it's time to buy, sell, reallocate, get out of Dodge. Because a lot of times when you're struck with fear does two things. Number one, it can paralyze, and people just put their head in the sand and say, I'm just going to forget about it and hopefully it gets better. Or it causes you to make a wrong decision. And this is why we are here, is to help people navigate through the political quagmire nonsense that's going on, the economic malaise, and the absolute collapse that we're seeing. And when our freedoms are eroding, our political freedoms, our economic freedoms, our personal freedoms, our religious freedoms, our health freedoms, they're all tied together. But you know what doesn't need to erode with that? Our finances.
KirkElliottPhD.com/Sherwood.
Let's shine the spotlight on one of our star supplements.
The human body can make most of the types of fats it needs from other fats or raw materials, but not omega-3 fatty acids, also called omega-3 fats or N3 fats.
These are essential fats that the body must get from food.
Biomega 1000 provides a potent dose of omega-3 essential fatty acids sourced from a strategically placed fishing facility in the far South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile.
Each capsule delivers an impressive 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, and the capsules also contain vitamin E. See the link below for a special offer, and remember, don't be fooled by cheap online knockoffs.
We have a brand new documentary out called Non-Compliant to the Sheriff. Now, our first documentary, Non-Compliant, and our second documentary, Non-Compliant 2, are both available at noncompliantmovie.com. The first documentary is all about the duty and the role of the state to be a check and balance on the federal government, state and local government. So if you haven't seen that yet, let me please recommend that you go to noncompliantmovie.com and watch the first documentary available to you at no cost. It is going to be life-changing, and we have hundreds of thousands of 5-star reviews and people all over the world sending us messages about how this message is so life-changing. And it's a global message because, really, it's about your inherent rights. It's about why government is designed for one purpose. The purpose is to secure your rights, and how our founders put together our governments in order to retain the power by the people to be a check and balance on government through state and local government. And from that, we were inspired to create Non-Compliant to the Sheriff. Now, I have been for, nearly a decade traveling around the country teaching sheriffs and deputies a 3-hour continuing education course all about the role and the duty of the sheriff, the history of the sheriff's role and duty to secure our rights, not to violate them. We have a whole section on the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, what our sheriffs and their deputies need to know not to be sued. And then we have a section on the jurisdiction of the sheriff, which is so incredibly important. That jurisdiction of the sheriff is really the most powerful guard and protector of the rights of the people than any other institution our founders created here in these United States of America through our constitutional republic. And it's from that course that I had sheriffs telling me, this is inspirational. What you've taught us in these 3 hours is just simply life-changing. As a matter of fact, I've taught this at big conferences where I taught the sheriffs of 17 states all at one time. And I had sheriffs coming up to me immediately before I even got off the stage saying, I've been on the phone changing policies already based on what we learned from you. And we thought to ourselves, you know what? We need the people to know this information. We need the people to know this, number one, so that they can make sure the candidates they have for sheriff know the proper role and duty of the sheriff, so we can be sure to have constitutionally minded sheriffs. Number two, because if you have a constitutional sheriff, if the body of the people are not in support of that sheriff cannot be who they want to be and who they're required to be. And number three, it empowers sheriffs who already have that inclination. In a world that is full of propaganda like defund the police and all of our law enforcement is evil. You see it all over the news. You see wicked politicians propagating this stuff. We knew we had to create Non-Compliant to the Sheriff to show people what's really happening at the level of the sheriff that the media will not show you. There are sheriffs all over America who are standing up in defiance of unconstitutional laws and orders and edicts, in defense of the property rights of the people. And they've been doing this for years. But the politicians and the media do not want you to know this. They do not want you to know what sheriffs are doing successfully, regularly, to stand for people's rights, because this is how government's supposed to really, really work. Now, what we do with non-compliant 2 is we take 2 real-life situations, 2 events that actually happened. A pastor who refused to shut down his church over COVID, and a sheriff who arrested him for it. And a pastor who refused to shut down for COVID, and a sheriff who said, I'll go to jail to keep you open. And how this 2 incidents actually impacted and changed their states, and even all of these United States, all boiled down to what a sheriff would or would not do. This film is brand new, available at noncompliantmovie.com only right now. Pretty soon we're going to make it available on DVD, so maybe by the time you see this, it will be available on DVD at noncompliantmovie.com. But we're already getting messages about how this is life-changing. And to be honest, if you share this with your sheriff might be one who has watched this movie and come back to us and asked us to come and train their deputies. Noncompliantmovie.com. It will be life-changing.
How can boosting your daily nutrition save you money? I'm Dr. Michele Sherwood.
And I'm Dr. Mark Sherwood. Kingdom Fuel costs about a third of the average lunch and will supersize your nutrition.
Our unique meal shakes are balanced, low glycemic, rich in fiber with 20 grams of clean protein, essential vitamins and minerals, healthy fats, and organic fruits and vegetables.
Kingdom Fuel is the simple start to a transformed life.